Hello, everyone. Welcome back to 7 Days Valencia. It's me, JD Sensei. We have come back to the other side. Uh, this is where I ended the video. Why am I not fully? Oh, because I shot the cockroach. Got it. Duh. I forgot. All right. Yeah. I went out to get more soda of the pop. I was thinking bad thoughts too while I was out in the kitchen doing my thing. I'm literally formulating a plan. I just had the evilest idea. Evilest, is that even a word? The most evil idea. I was like, so I made those two passageways. Now, the issue I'm having right now is how am I going to do access to? I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do access to, because I have to clear out around the base. So what I'm going to do is, one, I'm going to move the submachine gun. Two, I don't know why I have the torches on me, so I'm going to pop those out. Okay, let's just do this. Let's do this. So, you guys know I don't like landmines, but hear me out. If I do this, right? What if I were to lay landmines in that passageway? The whole thing. The whole thing. That's what I'm thinking. What if I put landmines in there instead of spikes? So what I want from you guys when you see this episode, I need you guys to just run me through real quick. How exactly do landmines work? Do they damage the block that they're on when they explode? Do they only damage on that block? Do they have splash damage to other blocks next to them? I need a little bit more data on how they work specifically. And the reason I ask you guys is because I know you'll watch, and I know you'll have the info I need. Because I again have other stuff I need to do to, not today specifically, but from this I'm probably going to do a live stream, so I'm going to be a little busy to go click around on the wikis and stuff and take a look. So anybody who uses landmines extensively, also what type of landmine should I use? But I was just thinking of that because it's all concrete. And that just could be I mean, eventually I'd run out of mines. But if I were to go and just mine the whole thing up, so I have to make that decision too, because I have to bust out the concrete. That's why I'm going around here cleaning this up. And I'm looking to see if there's any landmines around. Yeah, I had that off. But before I commit to using landmines, I want to make sure they're not going to cause structural damage or anything to like the support poles around there. I'd prefer not to deal with. I need this light on. Landmines are hard to see, damn it. Especially this fake ass brick mesh makes it really difficult to see in here. Also with all these weeds. I gotta go slow. I don't want to. Oh, I'm not doing that. Just whack that, will you? If I can get all the way around. Because I did find one around my other base. Trying to stay off this area too. This is where they're really gonna try and hide one over here somewhere, right? It's what they did last time. I don't see anything. Alright, safe zone. Alright, one of y'all told me they landmines are 50-50. You know, landmines out here. Hubcaps are 50-50. They're either going to be a landmine or a dud. But I am going slow, and I'm not. I might actually use. Boy, I'm like paranoid. Oh, it was a Dell. Thought it was insane when I did my other base because for whatever reason I didn't think they spawned in the hub city. What the fuck? Okay, I was gonna say, man, that thing was bobbing and weaving. All right, now I'm in the safe zone. Safe enough. This is actually weird. All right, so for what it's worth, I think we're clear around here. Okay, so that's pretty good. I'm gonna throw this out because I never intended to have that on me. All right, so yeah, I need anybody who's free or has has experience with landmines. How exactly do they work? Do they, again, do they have a blast radius? Like, I'm not talking about like if you step within 2 of them, they explode. I'm telling you, when they explode, do they only affect the block that they're on? Like, so say I put it on. Quick visual. I mean, most of you guys get this. But say let's just give me a wood frame just for reference here. Actually, I'm going to make a few of these. But I might need them for something else. All right, let's use this for a reference. So say I have a landmine right here on top, right? And a zombie comes up here, right? I'm assuming the mine only affects this square up above, probably 2 height. I'm assuming it doesn't do anything around here. So if you put one here, and a zombie walks onto this one, they blow that one up. That's it. They don't set off this one or the one over here, and there's no blast radius around it. If that's true, is there differences between the types of landmines, like the hubcap or the air filter or the other one? And do they damage to block the run? Again, I can do all this myself, but I know you guys play this a ton too. I'm looking for a specific something. I know you guys play this too, so I'd much rather have your take on it. Also, don't want to use something I can loot if I can avoid it. Because I want it to be high. I want it to be a high. I want some elevation here. The concept I had in my head. So what I'm thinking is it's probably going to be one of these bad boys, one of these tall boys right here. But for that to work, I need a couple of tall ones, preferably right next to each other. Not these boys that are like totally freaking. No. Yeah, something like that tall one over there would work. All right, let me. Hi, cockroach. You'd probably be scarier. Oh, maybe. Oh, that would work. You gotta. Damn. I mean, I'm trying to do. The amount of work I got to do on them. I need 2 together. Realistically, and I wanted like 3 high. 3 high would be good. 4 high would be better. Try not to go out into the woods there. Alright, so let's see. So what I'm planning to do, what I'd like to do is a battle bridge. Like way up top. And just run between 2 buildings. That's a crawler somewhere. But for that to work, I need a very specific setup for this to work the way I want it to work. So that's kind of what I'm in the market for, and I'm trying to find two that are relatively close, but not close enough they're going to be an issue. And again, I'd like to. I don't want to do something low. I want like at least the 3-4. The fourth floor ones would be great, but specifically, I'm looking for something like these two would work. This would be exactly what. Oh, now wait a minute. Are you guys lined up? Wait. Wait, let me get this out. Okay, yeah. Whoever's coming over. Huh. All right, let me just check. Okay. Oh, this could work. This could work. Could work. Let me let's do a little something right here. Okay. And not what I meant to do, but sure. Okay. All right, I think I might have someplace to do the battle bridge on. And I'm just setting this up so it's easy to see. I'm thinking this is where we're going to do it. This seems to be the layout I'm looking for. Where the hell are you, you damn Bernie bastard? Okay. This just makes it very easy to see it when I'm doofing around. Let me look at the map as well. Okay, so it's on the second road from the top. So what I'm thinking, instead of making something crazy, we just bridge this gap from there to there. And then just, you know, it's kind of like the bridge portion that we did in, that's interesting. Kind of like the bridge portion in Ruby there. I don't know where he's going. Anyways, I'm gonna take a look at some other areas. We go off, see what else we can find. Is there any place else? Ideally, I would love like one of these really tall ones. Like, also, I've never looted this place, but it probably sucks. Just saying. I'd love to connect like two of these, but they're just too far apart. You could also do something like right there as well. Hello, guys spawning in. Having a good day. I just wanted to rub your side there. I guess that sounded worse than it sounded better in my head. All right, I got to start moseying because I actually need to go murder some rocks. I'd like to murder those rocks, but you know, not really conducive to do it in this area because too many special zombie spawns over here. So we're gonna just mosey on the way back, and we're gonna steal some rocks. I could use some more stone just for the cement making portion. Could also just go to the mine, I guess. That could be a thing. Then I got to use the auger while you guys and try to talk to you guys at the same time, which is usually a moot point. Look at how nice that looks all lit up. Yeah, so I really want to use mines now. I've got that in my head. I want to use mines, but I need to know which ones I should use, which one's going to do the most damage, and which ones aren't going to hurt me. Even standing out there, I don't want to hurt my base at the same time, you know, because that kind of destroys the point. Yeah, it's funny when they die, but it won't be funny if I can't use those rocks. They're too close to the wasteland. Doggo will show up. I don't want to, you know, damage the work I put in. I don't need to help them out. So if there's one type of mine that's going to work really good, do a lot of damage, doesn't hurt any blocks around it, that'd be one we do, and then we could just watch them blow up as they come in. That'd be fun. Now, and granted, I am prepared for the inevitable that they will just come running out the wall, never figure out where the entrance is, and just ignore it because they are that dumb, and they just beat their way through, and you know, I'm not. I keep wanting to say cognizant. That's not the word. It's the opposite of that. I'm not oblivious to the realities of the AI in this game in its current state. They are, for lack of a better term, abject morons. Even running, they're just going to run into straight frickin' lines, so I'm not terribly worried about them. Even on like the hardest difficulties, it's really all they did. See, in the console game, with the limitations of the AI, all you get when you bump up the difficulty is you get, uh, bullet sponges that just hit harder. That's never been difficulty to me. It really hasn't. I grew up in an era where, you had 3 lives. A hard game was just one that was really unforgiving. You know? Like the... Oh, okay. The OG Ninja Gaiden or something like that. Those were just rough games. Because there was very little margin for error. Mega Man, stuff like that. So that's not... It's not really difficult to me if you just make it harder to kill, and the way you make it harder to kill is just give it more HP. Make it more interesting. I know they're a lot smarter in the in later alphas, but right now it's just like run straight lines. It literally it's that line from you guys are probably too young to remember this. One was it Better Off Dead? Was the movie? It's a John Cusack movie, but he asked his friend for tips on winning a ski race, and the idiot just goes, "Go downhill, really fast. If something gets in your way, turn." That's the instruction, and I'm like, that's kind of what we got with the zombies, except they never got the turn instruction. They just go straight line, balls to the wall wherever you're at on Horde Night, and if something that gets in their way, run into it. But I've seen later alphas, which again is if you make it so they will always, find the path of least resistance. The I guess for lack of a better term, the water AI or electricity works the same way. Current electricity always finds the path of least resistance. So one of the first things you learn when you learn electronics is you are made up of 80% water, and that water is impure. Because just so you know, electricity doesn't really want to travel through purely water. It's usually the impurities in it that serve as a conductor. Just saying. That's why you can use water cooling and not destroy yourself. But I'm just going a little crazy there. But yeah, one of the things you got to remember is like when you use the that theory is that's exploitable too, because if you know they're going to use the shortest way to you that's unobstructed, you just purposely make an unobstructed path. Everything else is armored up, and you just leave one path for them to get to you. They're going to take that route, and that's where you make your stand. So that's the thing. But yeah, a lot of people playing it for the first time, and surprise, they do. There's new rules to follow, so we're going to be learning. But again, yeah, going back to it, it's like I, that's never anytime you bump up the difficulty, and all it does is give the enemy more HP and they hit harder. Whoop de freaking do, man. JRPG's been doing that crap since freaking they put difficulty levels in RPGs. Oh no. It's usually why RPG players, we're really hard on devs when when they take the easy route and just say, "Oh, it's got 10 million HP." Whoop they freaking do? If it's got the same freaking AI routines, that's not a threat. That just takes longer to kill. That's all. It's legit. Not you want a treatise? Treat is that the word? You want a school on how to do a complicated ass boss? Talk to not Final Fantasy 14. Talk to Final Fantasy 11. 14 is basically freaking Dragon's Lair. For those of you old schoolers, you know that one. It's basically Dragon's Lair. You just got to memorize the patterns and where to stand. It's a WoW format. 11 though, 11 did not hold your freaking hand. Anybody who doesn't know the reason there are 2-hour rage timers on bosses, you could thank Final Fantasy 11 for that. They are literally the one that you can still look it up to this day. As far as I know, I don't believe anybody beat it legit. Absolute virtue. I don't think anybody beat it legit because Square never told anybody. Now, we found ways to beat it. But every time we found a way, is usually they decided it wasn't that, Square arbitrarily said, no, we didn't want you to do it this way, and they patched it out. And it was really freaking complicated how you were supposed to beat it. They eventually told us how you were supposed to beat it, but it was like insane. It's insane. And it's literally the reason we have rage timers. That is the reason, absolute virtue. Because a link shell, a guild, spent 17 hours trying to kill it. Couldn't do it. People were getting sick. So they put that in. So now, if you don't do it right in a certain amount of time, the thing just rages. It's also what I was priding myself on. Because one of the problems with the Final Fantasy community, with the 11 community specifically, was they were, when I started, like me and my friend started, we started at Wings of the Goddess, which was maybe the fourth major expansion. Yeah, it was Chains of Prometheus, Rise of Zalard. I want to say there's something else in there. Treasures of I can't say it, and Wings of the Goddess. So we came in on the fourth expansion. So, all right, I'm going to nerd out a bit because I got to break some rocks for some rock. But I'm going to nerd out a bit. So what? Those of you who've heard my stories, I played Dancer, which was complicated as fudge just to get to. And I like doing weird stuff like that. I remember I told you all about my friend Rudy playing Final Fantasy 11, and she logs on one day. So, little backstory. Wings of Goddess added in Dancer as one of the main jobs. So, Wings of the Goddess is fought in the past. So what they did is they took say you took like this area right here, you mirror it with way harder mobs, and then you basically mirror it. So it's like really hard. So the way to unlock Dancer is you go to the past, go to the starting zone in the past, and sign up, and you can unlock it. I don't remember exactly where it is. It's a whole convoluted quest, but the thing was to to unlock the pass, first of all, you could actually actively make your life miserable because you had to go through this place called Garlied Citadel. There were these things called maws that let you go into the zones in the past, right? So here's the kicker, though. There was one that if you went in, I believe it was, I know roughly where it is, but if you go into that maw specifically, if that's your first one, you actually have to take some high-level people in so you can get back. Because it locks the first maw you use as your primary maw until you lock others. The problem is that specific maw comes out on a high-level dungeon. At the entrance is in a high-level dungeon that requires like multiple people to step on switches. It's annoying. So you can screw up and make your life miserable just by taking the wrong entrance into the past. But to get back to the story with Rudy, so she logs in one day, and she's like, we all called ourselves by character names, and that's where Dell comes from. Dell is one of my main character names that I use all the time. And she's like, Dell, where the hell are you? And I'm like, I was like, I'm in Windhurst. She's like, I don't see you. You're not here. Oh, no, I'm in Windhurst in the past. She's like, how did you get there? I'm like, I walked. Literally, I walked through 4 high-level zones in 3 hours. I did the whole thing. I walked the entire way there. And, and Final Fantasy 11 doesn't play. No, there's not sight aggro. There's sight aggro. There's blood aggro. There's scent aggro. There's sight aggro. There's true sight. So you had to use that's why I use Dancer, because you could use one that would make you invisible, and there was a dance that made you invisible and stuff. But yeah, she came on. How long did that take you? I was like 3.5 hours. She's like, you're insane. Everything in that game was really tough. But to go back to it, too, one of the things with 11, all right, so when you get to level 70, to get the max level at the time was level 75. You had to do a limit break quest, okay? So the going idea with this is how complicated we were, but it's also a hi. Whoa, wandering horde. Hello, boys. We'll get back to the story in a bit. Let me maybe get some free loot. Hi, guys. Hi, step up. Yes, thank you. Hi, how is everybody? Oh, triplets. Ladies. Hi there. And the Doublemint twins. You can stay down, fool. Stay down. All right, I want to loot one of these nurses real quick. Okay, nothing from you. Hey, Stompy, go away. All right, where's the other Doublemint twin? All right, got you. I'll take all your stuff. Nothing from you. One of you guys could have had the common decency. Oh, there's more of you. Good. One of you guys could have had the common decency to bring some stuff. All right, out of my way. So you guys interrupted story time, so I just want to say how rude of you that was. All because I was hitting rocks. Next victim. Thank you. Jars. And this. What you got? Nothing for you. There's got to be a crawler mixed in here somewhere, I would assume. Oh, yeah, I think I see a swimmer back there. I see a swimmer. Hi, buddy. Bringing up the rear. All right, let me duck down a bit. Oh, I'm sent, so there's another crawler, yeah. I see you. Chill out. Okay, that's it. All right, back to the story. Anyways. All right, so where was I? What the hell was I saying? So All right, to unlock Dancer, you had to fight a character named Laya. For base jobs, it was Matt. For Dancer, it was Laya, though. So the basic idea was to get this really high level stuff. You got to remember, too, if you're coming into this game, see, this is what tipped me off. So to fight her, the going theory was you came in, you wore this really overpriced piece of gear that you had to buy on the marketplace, and you came in and you spammed your strongest dagger skill. Which, for whatever reason, Dancer was not not super skilled in dagger, but whatever. The best dagger skill was a skill called evisceration. So what you did was you know, used the Opal Opal necklace, which gave you a full skill to set, and you basically zerged her down as fast as you freaking could. That was the going theory. That's what everybody did. That's what everybody told you to do. And, you know, people did it a ton of times. And they should have known better because for the thief, the OG thief class, everybody would go in there and just beat him up. And it's like, no, that's not the way you're supposed to do it. What you're supposed to do is steal from Matt. If you successfully steal from him, you pass the test. Hint, hint, you're a thief. That's what you're supposed to do. So with Dancer, you're fighting Laya, and I did it a couple of times the way people told me to do it. And this is all my people that had you know, been playing the game for years, and this is what they told me to do. So I'm playing it, I fail, I play it, I fail, I play it, I fail. So I'm like, what the this is annoying. And I'm just sitting there, and my roommate sitting with me because he played at the same time. We used to play in the same room. And I'm like, now bear in mind, I had soloed Dancer. And if you guys know 11, soloing in that game was rough. Dancer was a little better because they could self heal. But soloing was rough. So I had soloed the whole way. So I've been playing Dancer roughly for about, honestly, 6, 7 months. 6, 7 months. And I was deep into the game, so I played it a lot, right? So I played the hell out of Dancer. So I knew Dancer like the back of my hand. I knew how to do, I knew the steps. I knew how much technique points that would make TP. You know, toilet paper. I knew how much TP it would generate. I knew by sound which waltz I was doing. Waltzes were your cures. Steps were to get your skill points back, to turn it into TP, to make your weapon skills. So, anyways, you know, we had this whole thing, and I knew something was wrong because I remember looking at my roommate, and I'm just like, bro, how is this legit? And he's like, what are you talking about? I was like, okay, the developers made this to be beatable at 70. Why do I have to go find level 75 gear? Because you wear, you know, stuff you couldn't get until you were level 70, you know, high level, max level. Why would I have to get max level drops and max level gear to beat a quest that's 5 levels lower? And just so you guys know, if you fought something 5 levels higher than you in that game, it was called incredibly tough. Those were the mobs you fought in parties. And this was a solo thing. When you went to leveling parties, that's what you did. You found IT mobs, incredibly tough mobs, and all you beat the crap out of it for hours on end to level up your characters, right? So, soloing IT mobs is not something you can do on most jobs. Dancer could sort of do it, not IT. They could go a couple of levels lower. Usually tough, occasionally depending on the mob, very tough. IT though, you do two dick all damage usually, and they hit like a truck. So going back to it, you know, I'm going through all this, and I just look at him. I was like, bro, there's got to be something on with this. So I was like, bro, sit down with me and watch this fight. And we kind of figured it out. Both of us saw two different things. So one of the things was I didn't have evisceration. So I used the last natural skill a dancer could unlock. I believe it was one we could unlock because evisceration was learned from was added in later in the game. The last dagger skill that dancers could learn, get this, is called Dancing Edge. All right? So I go to fight Laya, I bring all the stuff, I follow the directions, right? But instead of using Evisceration, because it's not leveled up yet, I didn't have, I wasn't skilled up on it yet. I used Dancing Edge, and I lost. I lost the fight. But right before I lost the fight, because basically, if you go, you don't go quick enough, and it gets to like 2 minutes, she rages and instantly just keeps doing her skill over and over until you die. So you basically, it's a fail state. But what my roommate had pointed out is like, bro, when you use Dancing Edge, she said something, and this we didn't have a screenshot or anything, and I was looking at it, and when because she heals during that fight, uh, but I had noticed something the fight before is she was using a Curing Waltz too. Uh, she had used a Curing Waltz. Oh boy, I'm getting hit now. She had used a different form of Curing Waltz, and it healed way more than it should have, right? But then I used Dancing Edge, and it healed what it should have, because you can see it. And then she used it. I hit her a third time, and it did it again. And what he pointed out to me is every time I used Dancing Edge, a little text bubble. I wasn't paying attention. Spell effects going off, but a little text bubble came up because I fought her again after this, and we paid attention. And she says, "That's the way." So what we figured out, we actually added this to the wiki. You do not have to beat Laya. What you have to do is the skill Dancing Edge 6 times as fast as you can before she goes. If you do that, she will say that's the way, and her self cures will get weaker and weaker, and she won't actually lose the fight. She will just bow out after the 6 times. So all you have to do is do that. But the community was so set in their ways, they had just, brute forced it. And that, it was just so late in the game, people weren't thinking straight. They weren't thinking, they're like, there are other ways to do this. And it was just incredible to me because I pointed that out to my roommate. It's like, bro, how did we figure this out? And nobody else did. And our link show was like, because God's honest truth, I think I'm almost willing to bet in our link shell, if I wasn't the first to level it up and do the limit break quest, I was pretty close to it. Nobody mained it. I was the first one to main it in our link shell. I'm not going to say ever. But at least on Odin's server, as far as I know, because we would tell all the people in our link shell and they started spreading it around, that is the correct way to do it. And everybody tried it, and they're like, I know Rudy did, and I know a couple of other friends of hers did it, and they were like, oh my God, this is so much easier. And I'm like, right? Because I mean, it just amazed me that, the 11 had been going on for a long time, since the PS2, and we were playing on PS3. So, and it's still going on today. And most of this story, by the way, is now a moot point with when they switched to Primary 14, A Realm Reborn. They increased the level cap. The game was never balanced around it, so it's broken as hell for the most part. I haven't kept up with it. But I played, I want to say, during the golden times. And it was a lot of fun. I love talking about 11 because, again, it was my first. But that is something I'm still, I'm not going to say incredibly proud of. But it was just something I really like to reminisce about because, especially because, I had good friends playing that and stuff. But it's just something you got to remember, too. It's like, don't be set in your ways. Try different things. Always. That's a real big takeaway. I made a habit of that. Especially me and my roommate. We were insane like that. I know we soloed. We duoed. Was it Ramu? Might have been. I think it was Ramu. Because you had to. Originally, the idea was the only class in the game that could solo everything, or at least every, you know, certain mobs, was a red mage. But we go in with a dancer and thief, and we could do most stuff. Most stuff that was could be soloed by a red mage. Not all. Red mage was flat broke busted, but it's a good player, especially with good relic gear. But yeah, it's just the amount of stuff that people just didn't do. Because I know I was one of the first dancers that actually knew the job. And the way I know that is because dancers were expected to solo because nobody used and knew what they were supposed to do in a party. Honestly, nobody knew. I mean, even the game developers didn't know. For like our sub job was originally monk, which made no damn sense. But I think we had a D in fists. It was horrible. And you had to skill up too. It was a lot of pain in the ass stuff that we had to do. But yeah, I know. The thing with the answer is when you leveled it up though, once you hit level 75, you were max level. Then you had to get merit points. So they used to have Maripo parties, and they all wanted dancers because of the dances they could do. Could grant like haste, could sped everything up. Plus the main mob that Maripo parties went after were birds. There was some sort of flamingo. I forget what they were called. But they were weak to daggers, which was the dancer's main weapon. So everybody wanted dancers in the party. And I know for a fact, I was like, excuse me while I get this way, but I was forced to solo for the most part, all the way to 70 by myself. So I get to the Maripold party, it's like, bro, you should come join us. We could really, bitch, you told me to get away the entire time. You said I couldn't come with you to the dunes, which we actually made work. Me and my roommate would put together the weirdest ass parties, you know. But it was very stringent on what they needed for parties. Like the only parties I ever got, I got into or up to 40 because of the what was it? There was a skill. It was a chakram, and they used us as pullers because we could just basically, go pull and come back, and we could heal up. It was just weird, but nobody knew how to use us. Eventually, they learned, especially in certain things. Like everybody subbed dancer if they weren't a primary dancer, because it's just ridiculous survivability. Because the thing is, healers in that game, like a white mage or whatever, they'd run out of MP magic points, and then they'd have to take a knee to rest up and heal. So you'd have to, your healer would have to stop and regenerate their MP in the middle of a battle and stuff. Dancers didn't have to do that. They generated the heals off technical points, which you got by hitting the enemy. So you beat up the enemy, and their heals were not interruptible. If you hit a spellcaster in that game while they're casting a spell, the spell is canceled. For a dancer, nope, doesn't matter. It's instantaneous. It can't be canceled. So they were the best. They were one of the best healers because they were good in a pinch. When we got into parties, used to do the most weirdest parties you ever thought of. Like when I was leveling in Quiffin, which was zone 1, 2. It's where you went after dunes. It was an ice place. But we got a really good party going one day, and that's where I met God, what's her name? I can't remember the girl's name. I actually went and escorted her because she was coming in. We got her, we got Knuckle Bomber, we got a couple of other people. Oh God, Rudy loved her. Rudy, that was her favorite person. She would, because she went on all Rudy's adventures with her. She'd just go wherever Rudy wanted to go. Was it Mink? Might have been her name. You're still around. Hi, I'm Dell. How you doing? That was my character. Anyways, but we got this party together, and it was so much fun. We were all having so much fun. We wanted to keep it going, but our tank, who was a paladin, wanted to leave. So there was a job in that, and for those of you who play 14, Blue Mage, you have no idea. 11 was the original Blue Mage. A good Blue Mage was ridiculous. Our Blue Mage, who was in the party just leveling, he's like, we go into the tower, and he's like, we're losing the tank. And nobody wanted the party to break up, but the tank had to leave. So our blue was like, "Yo, give me 5 minutes. I got an idea." Our blue went, picked up a, picked out about 5 blue mage skills, just put it off the top of his head, put them all together, came back. Probably one of the best tanks I've ever had in the Quiffin party. It was just ridiculous. The fact nobody ever thought to do that, because there were several jobs like Dancer. Blue was one. Blues were known to be able to solo, but they were expected to because, they didn't have the right skills. It was a very cast-based system. They wanted a puller. They wanted to heal. If you weren't pulls, heals, DPS, or a tank, and especially if you were DPS, you had to be the right kind of DPS. Like if you were a nin and you didn't have the right skills, you weren't getting a party. It was just the way it was. So a lot of us figured out weird stuff to do. Like I still remember, I keep talking about Rudy because she was one of the nicest people I ever met. I've talked about her before, but Rudy came with us to campaign. Now, me and my roommate I cut my teeth because I love campaign. You just go there, you get your tags, you go fight the mobs, you go and turn in your tags, and you get experience. It was the greatest thing ever. As far as I was concerned, I had a blast until Square screwed it up because that's what they were good at. But I remember we brought her in, and she had never done it. And remember, these people, when they got to high level, they had their own stuff they had to do. There was a whole bunch of prep work that was involved. It was ridiculous. But she wanted to try it out, so we took her in. And yeah, we're like, okay, Rudy, so you go here, you get your tags here, you come over to this thing, you beat up this thing. When the mobs, when you hear the alert that the mobs are coming, you run back, you take off your tags, because if you don't have tags, you're not participating in campaign, and the mobs won't target you. And she got too into it, which was funny as hell, because it's like, there's these two relatively noobs in here, don't even have a top level class, and this is this longtime vet, and friggin' we saw, and I can't remember what his name was. It was Conqueror something. We just used to call him Conqueror. Excuse the phrase, Conqueror shithead. Uh, you just see the chat. Somebody in the chat's like, "Oh no, Conqueror shithead showing up," and everybody books it off the thing. Books it off the thing we were beating on, and runs to get our tags off. And Rudy doesn't. She's like, "Where's everybody going?" We're texting her as we're taking our tags off. Rudy, you need to take your tags off. She turns around to take her tags off, starts running up the stairs, makes it up one stair. You got to remember, every mob is like they were ridiculously high level. They would just come through and they would one shot you. It did not matter. They just ran up, bashed her upside the head. And she's like, "What do I get for that?" We're like, "Well, here's the thing. When you die in campaign, you lose your tags. You don't lose experience like you do in the regular game. But what does happen is all the experience you just wait, the 30 minutes you just used, yeah, that's gone now. Sorry." So yeah, that was her experience with campaign. It was still funny though that that happened to her. We were just like, really? I miss 11 a lot. It makes me happy to talk about it. I have some really good friends there. And if you never got to experience it, I wish it was the same as it used to be. But again, after 14, which I did enjoy, I did enjoy. It was infinitely more fun to solo in 14 than it is to solo in 11. And I played at launch, which was ridiculous. Not launch. Realm Reborn launch, not OG launch. Oh my God. That was horrible. And my roommate actually played the so when the OG Final Fantasy 14, I'm just gonna talk for a bit. When the OG Final Fantasy 14 shut down to be redone, they left it open for PC players. And what they would do is they would just do the betas, start updating through it, and he played through it. And you could tell these people because when they started A Realm Reborn, their characters had a unique sigil on, I believe, their neck. It could have been the thigh. I don't remember if the neck of the thigh. I didn't have the character, but he had a cat girl. He had a cat girl. He had the cat girl with, and she had the tattoo on her. That's the sigil, because you watched the end when when the original 14 shut down. They did a whole unique cinematic where they destroy everything, and and then when Reborn starts off, start up like I think it's 5 or 6 years later. So there's kind of a time skip, but it was kind of cool. But yeah, I just remember that he had that. So, but they let the developers, while they were developing it, let all the players play it. That's what kind of endeared Yoshi P to the community, because he was very. Oh, I left my bike outside. I can't do that. Uh, it really endeared him to the. Did I leave my bike outside? Where's my mini bike? Oh, yikes! I left it outside. I really left it outside. Oh yeah, that's right. I went goofing on. Goofing off. Where did I leave it? Yeah, screw that. Have fun out there. Don't disappear on me, okay? But yeah, I just remember that. But it was so cool. I miss the old days of 11. You can never get it back. It's just like, it's the same with PSU, Fantasy Star Universe. Even if you go on the private servers, playing the 1-Up Cup, which doesn't exist anymore, but playing the 1-Up Cup and stuff like that, that was a thing. Playing, what was her name? Still on my friends list. Don't know if she still plays game. Bree, if you're out there and watching, you remember what you did. The old running through the zones, and because it was on PS2, the lag would get you, so you'd zone in, and your party had zoned in before you. So somebody got an instant death attack, and you zone in, and as soon as you zone in, you get walloped by it. So you get one-shotted. Yeah, it was always funny. Annoying, but funny when it happened. But we never get those times back. So you got to enjoy what you got. Because eventually it'll be gone, sadly. That's the way games work these days. That's the way they've always been. Anyways, guys, now that I've gone completely off the rails, and we'll summarize real quick. We got ideas for what we're going to do there, and I might have our next idea for a build. So we marked that off, and then I talked about Final Fantasy 11 for a whole bunch of time. But I did get some stones. So anyways, guys, I want to thank you so much for joining me. My name is JD Sensei. This is 7 Days to Die Valencia. If you like this video and my random ranting and raving, make sure to leave a like. If you haven't subscribed, please do consider doing so. I do upload every day. Have a great day, guys. I'll catch you in the next vid. Bye now.